Welcome back to Prof. E Plays. I'm Prof. E, and we are picking up here with some Cepheus Universal. I actually decided to print out some tokens for my characters, and that maybe that would help me kind of be more concrete about where they are in certain situations. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. In any case, I had the printer, I had the paper, I had the ink. So there they are. Right, so we've got Wilbur and company, although Wilbur himself is probably the most useless person. Probably in general, but, but specifically on this particular mission. Right, so we are scouting here in the Mucoria subsector in system number 401. And we did our survey last time. We surveyed the main world, found 3 points of interest potentially. And we found some plant life, some animal life, and some interesting ocean currents involving some water discoloration. Right, so I think that we are going to go into one of the deserts, right? So specifically looking at the plant life, where it says we have an interesting ecosystem, right? So just as a reminder, what we do, I'm using right here, I've just printed out this section of the solo, uh, it's the second edition, uh, from Zoser Games. Okay, so in completing this survey, what do we need to do? First thing, I need to figure out where I'm going to land. Okay, so we already got the target. Landing and exploration. Wonderful. Okay. Right. So like I'm not keeping too much track of like really finely detailed time like in terms of hours, that kind of stuff. But I am keeping track of days because we only have a total of 6 months for this mission. We are already 2 months gone at this point. At the end of that point, and the end of that time, and so okay, what's the consequence if we don't actually finish in that time? Okay, we're not quite 2 months gone. We have not quite a week left in the second month. Okay. The consequence is that we don't get paid. Right? Because they will send out a rescue mission, and basically the that would have been ours gets absorbed by that rescue mission. So that is what happens if that were to occur. Right, so the first thing we need to do, we need to figure out um, where. Let's see. Will we land on a shuttle? Will it start? Oh, and the starship has to land. If he's going to have a shuttle, can we land close to the target? So that's the question. So it's a roll 1d6. We rolled a 6. A 5 or 6 means we can land within 500 meters of it, so we are going to be pretty close. Uh, I'm within, like, because I'm an American, it's like a football field, but an American football field, about 100 yards. So something in that neighborhood is not going to be terribly far off as far as that goes. I mean, no, it's way more than that, isn't it? It's about 5 times that. In any case, because a meter is about 3 inches longer than a yard. All right. So, in any case, uh, who will conduct the survey, and crucially, how long is it going to take? Right. So we need to choose from a few hours to one day or simply roll the dice. Okay. So how long is it going to take? It's going to take 6. So this is going to be a 5-day survey. That is significant, and we are surveying plant life. So we need to first determine the team. I think everybody's going to go. And this makes perfect sense to me. We are on a planet. It is technically a garden world. The temperature is temperate. So even though we're in a desert, it's not something that's going to be scorching hot or anything like that. It's not that far away. So it's going to be relatively safe for all of us to go. I think I might leave London on the ship, right? So London 47, our robot, is going to be staying on the ship, while everybody else is going to be going to conduct this survey. No need for any kind of vac suits or anything, actually. It's a perfectly breathable atmosphere without any kind of necessary apparatus. Now, interestingly, this is a very wet world, about 90% water, but nonetheless, a couple of the things that we found, plant life and animal life, were both in the desert. Right, so all right, that's what we're looking at here. So it's going to be a 6-day survey if all goes well. Now, the next thing we need to do is roll for a survey problem and drop my die. All right, so the survey problem is going to be number 62. 62 indicates equipment gets destroyed or lost. You have to roll 9 or higher to avoid. Oh dear. We rolled an 8. That's that's fantastic, isn't that? Yeah, that's great. Okay, so somebody lost some equipment. So let's find out what kind of equipment we're carrying so we can figure out. who lost it. Well, I'm just gonna roll. Okay, so it's something that William was carrying. William being our engineer. So what kind of stuff does William carry with him? Not much. The only thing I've written down for him is a dagger. Well, I'm guessing he lost his dagger then, right? So as they're traveling across the sand, William's dagger is lost in the process. Or maybe this has something to. Okay, no, no. Let's tie this into the survey. As they're surveying plant life now, in the plant life sensibly is going to be somewhat. I'm guessing succulents of some kind. So very uh, desert-y, like a cactus, something like that. So I think it makes sense. William is going to be trying to like cut off a sample potentially, but I think that there is something in the chemistry of this that it eats into the metal, right? So that so that it's not just that I dropped it in the sand, I can't find it. I can get a metal detector or something. No, instead it is actually destroyed, right, by the plant life that we have discovered. So we have studied this. It took us a while, right, to do all of the various tests that we want to do and the like. This is going to happen, right? But let's find out how many survey points we get. Remembering this was a failed roll there. Now, all right. So let's see what happens. So survey points. So it's just 1d6, and it's going to be at a -2 because of the failed survey problem. 2 minus 2, so it's actually 0. 0 survey points. Oh, that's terrible. All right, and now we get to roll for a reaction roll. So remember, 8 or higher means that everybody's in a good mood. Otherwise, there's some kind of conflict. 11, we're in a great mood, right? So, all right, that was uh, short. Now, it makes sense to me. I'm thinking about this now. That we would probably okay. It was short in terms of playtime, but that took 6 days for that to happen. Oh, and not only that, oh, I forgot it. It actually took 8 days because if you fail the survey problem roll, then you end up losing time as well as whatever else, right? So that was it took us over a week, right, to really discover nothing worthwhile. That's not great. Not great at all. Okay. Now, I think I'm just going to go ahead and say this planet, the animal life is probably going to be nearby as well. So right now I'm crossing off all of the days we've spent. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a penalty of 2 days because of that. So we are actually into month 3 at this point, and that was pointless. Quite literally, we got no survey points from it. Reaction roll though, so we're all still in a good mood. So I think that we are going to proceed then, right, to the survey of this animal life. So all we know about it is that it has interesting or bizarre behaviors, right? So how long are we going to spend surveying that? It's a relatively short survey, only about 12 hours. Let's find out what kind of problems we have here. 51. I like just doing left, right. Wildlife poses a deadly hazard. If failed, see entry 31 to 33. All right. Well, I mean, this seems logical. All right. So we need gun combat or melee, right? I think there's somebody here who's reasonable at one of those things. It is definitely not William, nor Hazel. Hazel has no skill in that area. Sonia. Does Sonia? No. Yeah, Sonia has one in gun combat, and then where were the other? Oh, there they are. Is it just Sonia? Sonya has one in combat. Heidi has two in melee. So one thing I'm thinking about, maybe what I want to do actually, is let's play this out, right? So this is some kind of animal. Well, I'm gonna make a quick animal. Because I can do that right here. I've got my binder that has Cepheus Universal in it, and it has rules for coming up with quick animals. All right, animal life. There we go. Fast animal creation, 324 is the page. All right, so here we go. That's 326. So back a couple pages. All right. So, oh, very, very simple. All right. So, first thing I need to know, animal size, 8. Right, so 8 as an animal size. So I'm just going to mark this down. Size 8, so it's medium. So this is like, so it's size 8. All right, that tells us something, it's less than 100 kilograms, more than 15. So something in the neighborhood, so like it mentions gray wolf, chimpanzee, something along those lines. Uh, hits and damage inflicted. Let's see what that means. Hits, two values, one for the okay. Number four is total amount of damage the creature can take before it collapses and unconscious. Second is the total number of further damage that will kill it. So I need 4d6 and then 2d6. So I'm just gonna, okay, so it's gonna be, ooh, 12 plus 4, so it'll be 16. And then 2 more d6, 8. So it's rather hearty as that goes, um, I would say. And then the damage inflicted, oh, and that's just, yeah, you don't roll that during character creation. Okay, so, and it does 2d6 damage. Yeah, since everything's a d6, I'll just do 2d. All right, now the animal type. So what is its animal type? 1. It's a scavenger. So it's going to share or steal the prey of others. It will attack on a 7 plus or flee on a 5 plus. So this is one thing that I think I don't love, right, about the way that okay, so I interpret the Cepheus system reference document a little bit differently than it seems that Cepheus Universal does. And that I think that you roll the reaction roll once, and then what it has in the SRD gives you ranges. So if it's like some level or above, then it attacks, some level or below, then it will flee, and in between it just kind of ignores you. That's my interpretation of it. Now, Universal goes a very different path, and they give you two different numbers, right? One for fight, one for flee, and you have to roll twice, which makes it actually significantly less likely, generally, that they're going to just be ignored, which I think is interesting. It's just a slight difference in how the assumption is that the world works. Okay, all right. So in terms of animal type, it is scavenger. So it's going to attack on a 7 plus or flee on a 5 plus. Right. So, well, given that it's a dangerous wildlife encounter, I think it makes sense. I'm not going to roll this. It simply attacks us. That's it. All right. So I need to figure out where that animal is, and then we're going to play this out. Okay. So we are in the desert, right? And this creature, I'm guessing it's probably very hungry at this point. And it is attacking one of us. So which of the five of us is it going to attack? Two. It's going after Wilbur. Of course, it's the most pathetic one, right? There's no combat skills whatsoever. Right. This is what happens. Okay. All right. So I don't actually remember how combat works. It's been a while since I've done that. Um, so I'm going to just pull out the system and we'll kind of read through the checklist. Okay, so it's personal combat would be what we're doing here, I'd say. Oh, there it is, 87. All right. So, oh, right, right, okay. Yes, I remember how they handle this in Universal now. So first you handle melee combat, then you do any kind of direct fire, and then area fire. That's it. Okay, seems simple enough. All right. So Wilbur is here and is engaged in combat as this animal. I'm just going to denote it by this die. Right, attacks him. There we go. So they are engaged in melee right now. Wilbur is trying to fight it off, but Wilbur has no skill in this area whatsoever. He is also unarmed, which I suspect means he's probably not going to do very much damage. Um, yeah, so in order to roll this, okay, so attacker makes a skill check if successful 8 plus. All right, then you deal damage to your target. Defender always gets a free chance to parry an attack. Okay, so if unarmed, a human can inflict 1d6 damage when they hit in combat. So I get to roll um, melee combat skill plus strength or dex DM, the player's choice. I guess it's going to be strength because it's only -1. Right. And -1 if not fighting at weapons range. Well, he doesn't have a weapon. So yeah. All right. So he just gets attacked, right, by this animal they were out there trying to survey. And he is using his total lack of skill. So he's going to be operating at a -4. -1 for strength, -3 for being unskilled. So this will only hit on a 12. And that is definitely not a 12. That's a 7. Right? So that is what happens there. The animal is attacking him as well. I'm just going to say the animal gets a +0. That's going to make it as easy as possible. Right? So it's just going to hit an 8. And of course, it rolls a 12. Poor Wilbur. Poor Wilbur. Okay, so Wilbur then takes 3 points of damage, which comes off of endurance. Right, so his endurance gets knocked down to 1. So he's at 5, 2, 1 now in terms of his physical stats. Meanwhile, what's everybody else doing? Well, I think that um, those that are not skilled are going to stay. Oh wait, Fred's still on top of Wilbur. Those that are not skilled are generally going to try to stay out of the way. Because really, the only people who have any kind of skill here is going to be Heidi and is it Sonia? I said, yeah, I believe Sonia had like some kind of military background or something, if I recall correctly. I probably don't recall correctly as far as that goes. Uh, Sonia, no, Sonia was a merchant, right? But still managed to get the point in gun combat and has a revolver with her. So that actually, she has, strangely enough, 2 revolvers with her. All right. Meanwhile, Heidi has a staff that she could use to whack the thing. All right. So these are the people that are currently involved. All right. So let's see what's happening. Um, I think that we're like the people who are not involved are going to try to back away. So William is going to back away, as is Hazel. They don't want to be uh, in on this. Uh, And then Heidi was close by, right? So I think she is going to actually get right up there and is going to try to whack the thing, right? And it's big enough that I think it's not like it's attached to him or something, right? So it's not like you trying to swat a mosquito where you're going to end up hurting him more than you hurt the thing, unless she misses really badly. If she misses with a significant effect, then I think we'll have problems. All right, so she is in a melee. She gets +2 on this. All right, that is a total of 12. 12 is good, not enough to be an exceptional success or anything like that, but it does mean I don't think that I'm going to double check the damage. I don't think that effect adds to damage, but it might. Need to double check how damage works here. Damage inflicted. Oh, I forgot. Is Wilbur wearing armor? He is. He is. He has an AV of 6. He has a um some kind of vest. Corvus vest. Can't read my writing. So that actually would have absorbed it. Okay. So we're looking much better than we are now. Although it's not clear to me that would because I'm guessing like animals. If this is something, because I'm imagining something. The wolf is what's in my head. So some kind of like desert wolf. It's not going to be attacking where the vest would be. So I'm going to say he still is taking that endurance damage. I think that just logically makes sense to me that that is what's going to be the case for him. All right. So in any case, I'm still not positive about how much damage is being done. Oh, animals in combat. Um, okay, no, it's just saying that it's melee. All right, yep, good enough. I'm not going to spend too much time looking up things. Makes sense to me. I'm just going to roll damage, and then if there's an AR applied, then it will apply. All right, so Heidi then rolled, got a 12. A 12 would not be enough to be an exceptional success. I'm not going to add any effect to it. I'm just going to roll for the staff. Does 1 plus 2 damage, right? So that would be total of 1 plus 2 is 3. So it's down to 13 in its first set of hit points. Right, meanwhile, Sonia is going to back up a bit, right, so that she's in reasonable gun range instead. This could go extremely badly, by the way. She only gets a +1 on this. If she misses really badly, I think there's a possibility she could hit Wilbur. But she did not miss really badly. In fact, she hit. That was a total of 10. And the gun does 2d plus 2 damage, which that would be a total of 10. Right, so we're probably going to kill this thing. Right. So we loop back around. I'm going to give the animal its turn. So is it going to? I think it's attached. It's not attached to Wilbur, like I said, but it is mentally. It's going after Wilbur at this point. So I think it's going to continue attacking Wilbur. Okay, and it's going. 3 is a miss, right? A rather significant one, but it doesn't have any allies to hit instead. Wilbur is going to try to defend himself, though not particularly well. Yeah, definitely not particularly well. 4, and he's at a minus whatever. Um, 4 minus 4, actually. So he literally got a 0. Yeah, that's bad enough that I'm going to say that as he's swinging around, he accidentally hits Heidi. So Heidi then, what is Heidi wearing? Leatherjack would have AV of 3. So he would do 3 points of damage. Um, but I'm going to say this is enough that the leather jacket would, in fact, absorb that. Okay, because he's just kind of flailing at this point. Right, so I don't think she's going to take damage from that one. All right. Next, then, we've got Heidi. Nope, nope. Keep the animal there. Heidi is going to try to hit Thing with her staff. 8's good enough, right? And she does 5 plus 2 damage. 5 plus 2 is 7. So that's 3, 4. So it is knocked out. It's unconscious at this point. Okay, so Wilbur is injured. But we did manage to fight the thing off, right? So I'm going to say that was on the whole successful, though not without cost, but that happens, right? All right. Well, did we gather any interesting data? That's the really important thing here, right? So remember anything here? It's just a regular roll. So we should gather some interesting data, we'd hope. Actually, 6. So 6 points of data from that one. That sounds way, way better than what we had done before. All right. And there we go. So that leaves just one more thing to survey on this planet. That is ocean currents where there's some water discoloration. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and do that then, and then we'll have wrapped up this planet and it can decide whether we want to survey another planet potentially. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So again, we're going to need to know. Oh, wait. I forgot about reaction roll. Any reaction here? Oh, that's definitely a poor reaction. So let's remind ourselves of the various options for poor reactions. Okay, somewhere in here. Oh, there's the combat data sheet. Yeah. Okay, so right now it looks like. Okay, so right now we would consider Wilbur to be wounded, is the rule here. All right. Okay. So, I mean, in any case, reaction roll. So we do have a bad reaction. So what kind of reaction is this? Six. Six, it's an argument with another character. So there are two people that are involved with this argument. I want to know which two people it is. If it's a six, I'll re-roll. So it's Wilbur and William get into some kind of argument. So I want to know, like, what is, like, have we, I don't think we've previously established what their relationship is even like, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to look, see if I have that on my relationship map, because I do make a relationship map. Wilbur and William, no, we have no idea what the relationship is. Right, so let's roll for that, and that could give us perhaps, right, some kind of sense. Right, so what's the relationship? 52? 52 indicates lifelong friend. Okay. So rather surprisingly, they have in fact known each other for quite some time. So out of that, here's what my relationship map looks like if you want to know. All right. So that was not what I imagined. Okay, but in any case, so apparently they have been lifelong friends. So what is it? What is the topic, right, of their disagreement? I'm wondering. So I want to say, let's. I'm going to pull from the inspiration table here. Let's do theme and personality. So it's 21. That's what I got there. So it'd be hope in 13. Hope, so hope fervent. So fervent hope. So I think I'm going to say that what this really is, it's not really an argument per se, but rather William expressing significant concern uh, for Wilbur in that he is continuously putting himself in danger because he has no skills. Like, why are you out here? Is the kind of the theme of this, and William's suggesting that Wilbur perhaps needs to spend more time in the ship when they go out on these types of excursions. I think would be a suggestion there. All right, then I want to finally do look at these ocean currents. So this is definitely going to take some traveling. Oh, that was a 12-hour survey. I need to remember that. So I'm going to say that takes by the time you go to sleep, that's going to be a day. Okay. If I can find where I put my calendar. It's around here somewhere. Ah, this pile. Yep, there's the calendar. So one more day marked off. And let's then check out. So how close can we get right to this discoloration? It's 5, so it's within 500 meters, right? So I'm gonna say that like our ship actually like lands on the water and is floating. Makes sense that you can probably do this. Yeah, why not? Why not? Ships are made like actual like ocean faring vessels are made of steel. Right? It has to be airtight because it goes to space, right? So yeah, I'm gonna say that it can just float on the water, and then we can take whatever samples we need and the like. Right. So all of us are involved with this one as we are doing it from the ship itself. Right. Okay. So then, what kind of problem do we run into in this survey? 42 is the problem. That is computer problems whilst setting up or when processing survey data. So we need some kind of computer role. So who's our computer expert, or at least somebody that can handle computers? Well, this is something Wilbur can actually do. Wilbur has a level of computer. Does somebody else have more computer than he does? Interestingly, I'm not sure. I mean, William might. Sonia doesn't. Yeah, William has 3 levels of computer. Yeah, yeah, so he would be the one to do it. All right, so William, go ahead and make that roll. 7 plus another 3 would be 10. That does definitely pass. So we succeeded at that. Survey points, we got 3 survey points from this. That's pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that. And then finally, reaction roll. We got over an 8, so we were good on that front. Right, so here we are, we're floating around this discoloration where we landed relatively close to it so we can gather samples and that kind of thing. As we're processing the samples, the computer starts acting up, but William manages to work his way through it. Right? Everybody is very happy with how this went. Now, the big debate is whether we should stay here in this sector and try to get some more points out of it. Normally, we aim for about 10 points out of a sector. We don't have to do that. Um, we do have other places we can go, right? So there are a couple other rock worlds here that we could go to, we could survey. We are already, after all, in this system. So traveling within the system doesn't take that terribly. Oh, I forgot to look how long it's going to take us to do that. Okay, so that was a short survey as well. So another 12 hours for checking out the ocean. So, and we've had time then to gather water, to start processing it into fuel and all of that. As is our practice. Now, the question is, we're all like in my mind, we're already in this system. We have other not spaces, other planets that do have breathable atmospheres that we can go to, and we're going to need, I think, survival masks, but we have those. We don't need a vac suit is the big thing because we only have one of those, and that um, we're very worried about sending somebody out in a vac suit again because we only have one. But survival masks, we have them. We could go. I'm right nearby to us. It's only one orbit away. Right, we can. It's a hot world, so that could potentially create some issues. But I think we're probably okay. One thing I also want to look at real quick is about healing and how that works. Just because I want to know how quickly. So here we go. Natural healing. Okay. So natural healing, what's going to happen? Well, if we're resting, get 3 plus your endurance DM. Poor Wilbur. He doesn't have one. All right, so no, he has -1. Right, so he's going to. So as long as he's resting, he's going to recover 2 points per day. So give him a day or two. And actually, since that, yeah, he's going to have time to have recovered by the time they actually do anything else. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'm thinking we actually do want to stay in system to get our 10 points. Uh, okay, so then traveling within the system, we are traveling, we don't know the distance, but I can roll it. 6. Oh, of course, of course. So between these two planets, it's going to be 255 million kilometers, which is going to take about 3 days, right, for us to get there. So we are traveling using our maneuvering drive 3 days to get to the planet. It's 401 Epsilon, which then allows us to do a another survey. All right, so let's do it. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. How many hours is that? A 10-hour survey. So it's going to take another day to give us 3 survey targets. So these survey targets, these are from a rock. So it would be a rocky planet then, I assume. How we describe that one. All right. This rocky planet. Let's find out what we have here. So the first thing is going to be 12. 12 is a lava plain. Give me some details about the lava plain. With very high cliffs. What about the next one? Next one I roll it, it's a 13. 13 is another lava plain. And details about that one? 4. Lava channels. Then, what else? Last one is 11 is an impact crater. And what do we know about the impact crater? 2. Impact crater with a 2, it's deep. All right. So I think next time we'll be looking at surveying a 401 Mercuria 401 Epsilon. And until then, this is Prof B signing off.